can see the way they hate. And I know better than to listen to the people who are calling us slaves. I can feel the sunlight shining.
Well, good morning, everyone. My name is Brian, and today is Friday, April 26, 2024, and this is episode 685 of the Lots Project podcast, and it's titled Diddy Do It? Diddy Do It. It's another Friday show, TikTok conspiracy time. Let's talk Diddy, Peter Pan, Radar, and so much more. First, let's check out in the live chat. See who's hanging out in the coffee crew. Grab a cup of coffee and hang out for about an hour. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Let me get some coffee here. It's a good one. This is a good one for sure. Yeah, who's hanging out already? Pip in way early with oh, he diddly do it. Or he diddly did it. Oh no, diddly did it. Uh-oh. K-Bonk in, enjoying FTO Blonde. Hi all. Good morning. Yeah, FTO Blonde Espresso is a phenomenal blend from Food Forest Farms. K-Bonk, I'm glad you are enjoying it. Rewilder Life, I listed to a podcast, so it must be true. Oh man, I'm guessing you listened to it, but good morning, Rachel. Oh, there's the fixed one. You must be shy on the coffee this morning too. Haas, good morning. How we doing? Backwoods Butcher says, who amongst us hasn't used our power and influence and 300 hidden cameras to get their way? I mean, is that a rhetorical question? Because I don't think the answer is meh. I don't know. Good morning, Hagen Laundry. How's it going? How are we doing today? And Pickle Pete rounding up those early comments. Canadian Farmstead in also. I should scroll down all the way. Backwoods Butcher says, if you don't have the Meek Mills audio queued up, I'm going to be disappointed in you. Kyle, have you ever watched this show before? Have you ever listened to it? First of all, what is a Meek Mills? Not really sure. I think I've heard of that in passing, but you got to realize when I was rolling with the P Diddy, it was like he was in a tunnel with a weird jumpsuit on, dancing around like a fool. I don't know what a Meek Mills is. He got 10 years on me, buddy. I don't know. And no Meek Mills audio. Just if you need to cut out early or something, I understand, but I don't think you're gonna want to, because this is TikTok Friday conspiracy show where I just take some notes as I browse TikTok for the week. And because I've done enough research for this show, it just drops all these wonderful stories in my lap as we go. It's in the feed now, guys. It's in the feed. It just shows up. I don't even need to it just shows up now. I don't barely even need to search for it. Backwoods Butcher says a pre comment for the Diddy story. He says he was the rapper that was getting his cheeks clapped by Diddy and someone leaked the audio of it. Like the audio of the actual clapping of the cheeks. Was he doing this? Well, clapping cheeks. I get you. Are you saying that he was the only one that did that to? Because I don't think so. I don't think so. Just happens to be the one that they leaked the audio, I guess. Anyway, what's in the cup? Hagen Laundry wonders what's cheeks. Hunter over on Twitch. Good morning. Good morning. Thanks for swinging in. Hunter put me down a little bit of a trail, and I clicked on a link that he sent me. I don't know if that was a good idea or not. I did have my my virus blocker all around it when I clicked it. And that sent me down a little bit of a TikTok hole also. So that's included in the list over here. We will see. Um, wow. Backwoods Butcher says, "Oh, there was cheeks clapping and some words said, a word that we can't say." Wow. Wow, that's huh. I don't know about this. Are we sure who was doing the clapping? Because you said it was audio, right? Just the audio. Anyway, what's in the cup today? In the cup, I got the GSD blend, and it's treating me great this week. It's light, it's highly caffeinated, it gets you rolling, but no jitters. You can pick it up at foodforestfarms.com. Lots 5 for 5% off anytime at foodforestfarms.com, or if you haven't used it yet, lots 10% off one-time coupon. Pick yourself up some Food Forest Farms coffee, enjoy it, try it out. Well, I shouldn't say enjoy it. Try it out. You will enjoy it. I'm pretty sure. Just ask K-Monk or Backwoods or anybody else has tried it. And then consider joining the C4 Club. C4 Club is a very affordable option. You get great coffee, great coffee monthly delivered to your door. The 15th every month. It ships out. There's tons of other benefits for joining the C4. You should talk to Brian over at foodforestfarms.com to check it out. Here's to some goddamn good coffee. Backwoods Butcher says 6 minutes in and we're already gay. It didn't take 6 minutes. Pickle Pete says $20 a bag, club price. Yeah, you can't beat premium air roasted, premium clean stream air roasted coffee, micro batch, small. The man is literally hand roasting your coffee that's going to show up in your bag, in your door, in the box for the club price every month, taking his time, sweat, effort, sourcing the best beans he can find. And he is basically an artist with a coffee bean. This dude, you can tell him what you're thinking about, what you want to taste in your coffee, and he will go to work. I don't know how he does it. I don't care how he does it. It might be the magical mystical power in his roastery. I don't know. Maybe it's but whatever it is that gets it done, the boy, the man, the myth, the legend roasts a hell of a bag of coffee. $20 a pound, club price. It's fantastic. Backwoods Butcher says if you pay him extra, he'll verbally assault your beans. Pip put an order in yesterday. Woo woo. Pip. Was that because you broke your coffee pot and you needed new coffee? Hunter says it's the chutzpah. I don't think Brian's Jewish. What's the equivalent of chutzpah in Buddhism? Or the bathtub option, right. Anyway, let's get to it. TikTok Conspiracy Day. Fridays on the show. It has become a regular thing that I just roll with it with chutzpah in Buddhism is Zen. Gotcha. Oh, Pickle Pete sending Pip 2 free French presses with his order. See that? Whoop whoop. Anyway, Friday has become a traditional day where I kind of save conspiracies. I love conspiracies. I don't necessarily believe many of them. I do dive down the rabbit hole. I do go through the motions that the people that are believing these go through to try to put myself in their shoes. Sometimes it doesn't go as planned. Sometimes it messes with my brain a little bit. But usually, guys, I can tell the difference between the real and the fake. What it hanging laundry? What is that? Gumption. Oh, Anyway, so today I am bringing you more TikTok conspiracy theories from the week. Big one that was all over my stuff. It was constant. I can't tell you. I can't tell you how many Puff Daddy, Sean Combs, P Diddy, Puffy, whatever you want to call him. Hey Corey, you got a special name for P Diddy that you like? No, she don't like it. Um, so so it was just a constant onslaught of P Diddy stuff. Um, so what if you haven't heard of the whole P Diddy scandal? It appears, and I brought this to you guys way back. The tip of the iceberg, when the tip of the iceberg came out, and that first dude sued P Diddy and said, yo, that dude made me do a bunch of shit. He made me film a bunch of shit and made me do all this stuff in his house. I was his personal videographer and I saw some fucked up shit. I got a bunch of tapes. I got all this shit. And I said, hey, guys, you ever heard of this like Meyer Lansky dude and Herbert Hoover and sexual blackmail and all that? You guys listen to the show? You remember that? Mm-hmm. Yeah, what's been going on since then? Fucking musician after musician after musician after musician has come out and said it was true. The diddler, the P diddler, the diddly do, the whatever you want to call him, has been basically running the rap industry. It's been coming. He's basically been pulling the strings in the rap industry since like the 90s. He was kind of groomed. I talked about this that week. He was kind of groomed by someone that was a pro in this. He may have been a victim of sexual blackmail, and then it scarred him enough that he rolled right into the role himself. But man, the list is long, and it's not just sexual blackmail either. Today we're talking Tupac, Biggie, 50 Cent, and Diddy. Haas is wondering if he's still in the U.S. The media's been quiet. I don't really think. I don't know if he's in the U.S. or not. I can't imagine that he is. If he is, he came back privately. Incognito. I think if he was in the U.S. right now, he'd probably be in jail, unless he's got some really big dirt, like really, really, really big dirt. Canadian Farm says, didn't he run? Yeah, he jumped on a private plane like as they were raiding his houses. Like he almost knew that they were coming or something. He's going to be the next John McAfee. He's just going to live on a boat. But anyway, two of the things that came up. I mean, I've been seeing things like Justin Bieber. Justin Bieber is more in love with Diddy than he is his wife. Justin Bieber was like groomed by this dude, and you can see it. He was like a little white dude that all these guys got to play with. Weird. He was like this big when he started doing this shit. So yeah, Justin Bieber didn't surprise me. 50 Cent, I have to say it like that because of my tooth. 50 Cent, he says Diddy kept trying to get him to come over. Midnight tax, come over, buddy. Just have one drink and let's play hide the 50 Cent piece. Or I don't know. I haven't yet confirmed whether Diddy was the Diddier or the Diddy-oo or the Doier. Was he the pitcher or the catcher? I don't know. Maybe he just liked to watch. I don't know. It sounds like he was probably into both men and women in his little games. I don't know. I haven't seen any of the tapes, and I don't care to really. Pickle P says, didn't his parents deliver Bieber to Diddy? I did see something like that. Like, hey, dude, here is our son. He is all white and innocent. Take him and make him a gangster rapper or something. Make him a star. And he did. He did. Like the kid made more money than he ever could have dreamed of. And now look at him. He is an absolute mess. He is an absolute mess. Along with all these Diddy things, that one story kept popping up about the dude that they tried to get when he was a kid. This was Michael Jackson. It was like basically the same thing and opposite. They were trying to set up Michael Jackson for being a pedo. And this kid that spent all this time with him was like, no, he didn't do anything to me. Why are you doing this to him? He's the nicest, kindest person I've ever met. And that guy is messed up now. That dude is like just a mess. Haas says, I thought Usher helped Bieber. Who do you think helped Usher? Let's connect the dots. I'm pretty sure this dude named Diddy helped Usher. And may have had Usher help Bieber. Went down a little bit of an Usher and Diddy hole. Diddy hole. I gotta stop saying Diddy hole. Morning, Digger. How we doing? Yeah, it appears that Puff Daddy had his hands literally on everybody. But the one thing I want to talk about today is who he got rid of. I'm sure it was a laundry list, but two of the biggest rap moguls in the 90s, it appears, may have disappeared or been unalived by Diddy himself. Well, not necessarily by Diddy himself, but through the orders of Mr. Diddy. So they found this guy. Backwoods Butcher says, here's Justin Bieber's Canadian parents. Sorry you were late. Sorry we're late, Diddy. We brought our boy Justin here. Please take our adorable Canadian boy and do what you like with him. We'll sign any papers you want. Complete custody. Canadian Farm says it's all the same pattern like Epstein, get people to do the stuff on video and then control them. Yeah, that was pretty much the whole gist of that sexual blackmail episode we did a while back. I'm on the leading edge, guys. On the fucking leading edge. Just stick around. You'll know all the shit going down. So it appears that they found this guy called Keith D. Keith D is like a later, I don't want to say middle age, but I don't know, he looks in his 50s, maybe 60s, black man. That is claiming that Diddy and it's claims enough that there's going to be an investigation. He's got proof. He says he's got proof. He's got evidence that he's shown the authorities. See how many of them Diddy did and how many he can get them to lie. But it appears that this Keith D dude is saying that Diddy paid him $1 million in 1996. $1 million in 96 is a pretty decent haul to put a couple bullets in Tupac. Well, I guess more than a couple if you saw the car. And he wasn't a very good shot. But anyway, Keith D saying that P. Diddy was the guy. He was the hiring force behind the death of Tupac. I can see it. I don't think that it's out of the question. I think if you remember the late 90s, it definitely would have benefited Sean Combs greatly to have Tupac killed. I think that what came out of that was way, way bigger. And then the other thing was tied to that. Now, I don't know how many of you guys in the audience, Kyle, I don't even think was alive yet. Oh, maybe. Um, but there was a whole thing. There was a whole East Coast, West Coast thing going on. Snoop and Tupac and Biggie and Puffy and blah, 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 and back and forth and all of this. And Death Row Records and Bad Boy Records. And does anybody remember this? Um, well, when Tupac, I have to remember, I don't quite remember the order. Tupac die first and then Biggie, or Biggie then Tupac? I mean, regardless, either way, it doesn't really matter. They both ended up dead, and which happened first? I don't think the course of the events mattered. But the fact that it was presumed that it was an East Coast West Coast thing, it was a Bad Boy versus Death Row Records thing. But the weird part is, it sounds like it's coming out that Diddy may have marked Biggie's car the night he died. It's sounding like a sticker got put on Biggie's wheel the night he got shot. And the perpetrator of marking the car was Diddy. Now, you would think, oh, he was his friend, he was his best friend, da 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 da. And I can see it. I can see it. The I think it was Biggie's mom, sister, cousin, something. I saw a video of her talking about the fact that Sean Combs, Sean Combs has made money off Biggie Smalls longer. Christopher Wallace, I believe is his name, made money off of him longer than he was alive. So at this point, Biggie has made Biggie was 24 years old when he died. Sean Combs has now made money off of him for well over 24 years. Who standed to benefit? I think that was the first thing investigators do. Who benefited? Who benefited him? Mike Holmes says, "Did Diddy give my boy Eazy-E AIDS that killed him?" No, that was Fauci, dude. Fauci gave Eazy-E AIDS, or maybe it was the CIA, maybe the FBI. Haas says, yeah, he screwed his wife Eve over for years. Yeah. So, it isn't really unfathomable that maybe Diddy and Biggie had a little falling out. Maybe Biggie wouldn't do the deed. Maybe Puffy got to a point. Maybe the diddler got to a point where he needed to diddle the Biggie, and Biggie was too big to be diddled by Diddy. I don't know. Haas says he screwed his wife Eve over for years. I'm pretty sure he screwed Eve quite a bit too. Will Smith. Jada Pinkett Smith. How Jada Pinkett Smith is tied to Biggie Smalls? Interesting. I don't know that one, Kyle. I'm sorry. It's probably blatantly obvious, and it's not connecting in my head. Anyway, so I believe Diddy did it. I believe Diddy did it. I believe Diddy did it all. I believe Diddy did it all the time. Oh, okay. Jada Pinkett Smith. We were talking about Biggie, dude, and you're rolling back to Tupac. Yeah. Okay. Got it. I couldn't figure out why you were connecting Jada Pinkett Smith to Biggie. Thanks, Kyle. Thank you. So I'm pretty sure Diddy did it. I'm pretty sure Diddy did all the things that Diddy says he didn't do, that everybody's saying Diddy did do, and Diddy did it. Kyle was 3. Good thing he wasn't around Diddy if he was 3. Oh no. So yeah, this is an evolving story. I think that it's going to be a lot of trial coming up. I think there's going to be a lot of investigation. I think that I think a lot of secrets may be spilled, or it may just disappear. It really depends on how much Diddy did do. Really did he do? How much did he do? Maybe he's got Diddy do tapes on some people that will make it all disappear. I don't know. You don't know. Let's move on from that. Let's see what else is on the list. I got Kyle's just trying to be involved. Isn't that sweet? I appreciate the interaction. It helps. Um and Backwoods thinks it's going to be swept under thing. Quick. I'm guessing 9/11 size tragedy to cover up the Diddy do. Just wait, guys. False flag. False flag, and then they're going to make the Diddy stuff disappear. Maybe. Maybe. Next on the list, TikTok. Oh, this one was a this one was a talking about somebody mentioned Epstein earlier. So the Epstein stuff is still floating around a little bit. Uh, Probably because they keep leaking out client lists and all this shit. Just trying to appease the people, appease the Epstein hungry people that want the list. They want this, they want that. Nothing's ever going to happen. Nothing is ever going to happen. Just so you guys know, if you under the impression that something's going to happen about Epstein, no. But I did see something basically that said they've been shoving pedophilia in our face for years. Now I said in the notes there, and I'm sorry it was late. I was writing the notes before bed. Wait a second. Breaking news from Kyle. Backwoods Butcher reporting from the comments on the live. Says, by the way, Diddy wasn't on the plane. He was in Miami, but a ton of computers from his house weren't in the house when they raided it. Wait, how how does this all line up? He wasn't on the plane. He was in Miami, but a ton of computers from his house weren't in the house when they raided it. Do any of those things have anything to do with each other? Was he not on the plane because he was holding all the computers? Was he not on the plane because the computers were too heavy? I'm not sure why he wasn't on the plane because the computers weren't at his house. Anyway, last night when I was doing the notes, I accidentally made an accident, guys. I'm sorry. I accidentally made an accident. But I mentioned Peter Pan in the notes, and yeah, it turned out I was wrong. I was wrong. It's it's not Peter Pan. It was Pinocchio. I get my oh, Kyle says so they think he loaded up a bunch of evidence on the plane and sent it out of the country and was in Miami to show face. Nah. Pickle P says he knew they were coming and he trashed the stuff. Yeah, I have no doubt that he kept those. You're gonna say, well, why didn't he just erase it all? Why didn't he burn it all? Why didn't he whatever? Excuse me. He needs it. He needs it. Needs it. Anyway, Peter Pan, moving on to Peter Pan. Wait, no, Pinocchio. I put Peter Pan in the list. I don't know. I have my Disney movies messed up. Peter Pan, I think, could really really roll into the pedophilia thing real easy too with Lost Boys. Wait, Lost Boys were in Pinocchio, right? Or Peter Pan? I don't know. Now I'm all confused. I'm pretty sure it was Pinocchio. That the story was about. They kept saying Pinocchio, but now is this the Mandela effect? The Lost Boys are Peter Pan. What about Oh, okay. Yeah. So they were both pedos. Those were both pedo movies. Pickle Pete says now we're talking Peters again. This guy coming from fucking Pickle Pete. These were both pedo movies. Oh my god. The bad little kids that wanted to not go to school were taken to the island and turned into jackasses. That was on Pinocchio. Canadian Farm says you can't just claim they have Mandela effect when you can't remember basic stuff. Backwards Butcher says, how are you just getting this? I haven't watched Pinocchio. It's obviously I haven't watched Pinocchio or Peter Pan in fucking 40 years. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding? So anyway, the video I was showing that's got me all confused was talking about Pinocchio and that dude that was Pleasure Island. Yeah, Haas says it right here. The dude that was buying the kids and taking them to Pleasure Island. And you're like, oh, well, that's just an amusement park and nah. And he says they don't come back as boys. What is this Pleasure Island? And come to speak a bit, like who are the lost boys on Peter Pan and Pinocchio? I'm so confused. These cartoons, they might as well be like one. Could we do like Pinocchio and Peter Pan together? Would that just be a pedo's wet dream? Guys, this threw my whole shit for a loop. This threw all of my notes. There was a reason. See, there was a reason I put Peter Pan in the notes because I was confused between the Lost Boys and Pleasure Island. I think. I don't know. Anyway, Disney's been full of pedos for a long time. I knew it. Haas says it was Downtown Disney. What if Disney World is a huge the epicenter of child trafficking? Like, what a better cover than to have a place full of screaming, running kids. You got kids everywhere. You got abduction opportunities. You got smuggling opportunities. You got opportunities to hide the kids in plain sight. Backwoods says Peter Pan's even darker. The Lost Boys are kids that died and never had the ability to grow up. Pip says, I'll bet Sats that Disney's corrupt as fuck. Yeah. Backwoods says, what if? I say what if like there's a chance that it's not. Yeah. So okay. Conspiracy Friday. Topic number 1, not a conspiracy. Diddy's diddling everyone. Number 2, Pinocchio and Peter Pan and Disney are full of pedos. Hunter says in Peter Pan, Hook might have been the good guy. I mean, there is a lot of weird shit in Disney. And the more that comes out and they play off like all the stuff in the animation, like the penises and all that stuff, the cover art on the Little Mermaid, like was all of this signal signs was this communication between the people at Disney and the pedos and the traffickers? Like, hey guys, when we put a big dick in the cover art of a little kids movie, you'll know that the kids are ready. Or the new Pleasure Island is about to open. I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, we'll move on. Pip says next Friday, Disney movie showing sexual stuff. Hanging Laundry says university theater programs are full of pervs, only get worse from there in the big leagues. Backwoods says Aladdin wanted to show you more than the world. Oh no. Let's move on. No more pedo stuff. We got Diddy the pedo banging on a little baby beaver. Not a beaver. It would have been better if he was banging on a baby beaver, but he was banging on a baby beaver. We got Peter Pan and Pinocchio and a bunch of pedos there. Let's move on. Hunter sent me something on Telegram, and it was a link to a Twitter video that I actually watched the video, and then lo and behold, my TikTok and my Twitter talked. They touched tips, and and all of a sudden I started seeing similar stuff on my TikTok. Thanks, Hunter. What the story was about was HARP. You ever heard of HARP? HARP is a weather manipulation system. I guess system would be the right term. Weather manipulation through electromagnetic pulse, electromagnetic force, different energies, and things like that. And so what they've kind of come to the conclusion, they've been looking, as in the guys that wrap the tinfoil a little tight, maybe. They always make the ones that are right look crazy. They were saying, so this guy is saying that they've been using HARP and what was the other term here? HARP and scalar is how I pronounced it. They've been using these technologies to perpetrate weather warfare. So they've correlated some of these things called HARP rings, and scalar scales. Scalar squares. My God, I can't even read. HARP rings and scalar squares. Good morning, Chris Dixon, running on John Palmer time today. Not quite. John's not here quite yet. He's usually in the last 10 minutes. But just so you know, he does circle back and listen to the show. So if you guys want to talk about him, you're not going to be able to do it in the comments because he does listen back to the whole thing. Pickle Pete says allegedly an earthquake machine. Yes. So earthquakes, torrential storms, hurricanes, tsunamis, all of it. But what they're saying is they're correlating the images of these HARP rings and these scalar squares they can pick them up on radar. So what seems to be happening is HARP is putting out these huge pulses, and they show up on radar as concentric circles, like perfect circles and squares on the radar. So the radar is picking them up erroneously, kind of like when they pick up clouds and thunderstorms and things like that. But they're saying that they can find these, and then in a short period of time after, there's these huge natural disasters. They think that China, this is what I heard, allegedly China, and there goes my TikTok account, China used this technology to cause the Fukushima earthquake, to destabilize the region. And they went through it pretty in depth. They made a pretty good case. They showed the radars. They showed everything. Megalodons. I've been seeing megalodon shit too. But they documented it pretty well. I mean, they had me intrigued. There's several different sources coming out with different ideas about it, but they're all coming back to these harp rings and the scalar squares when they show up on the radar. Watch out. It's about to get fucking rocky somewhere. They say they can erupt volcanoes. They can cause earthquakes and all that stuff. So maybe it's not the eclipse, guys. Maybe it's not the eclipse. Or maybe we have natural disasters on the earth and people just need a way to explain it. Hunter says it's weird, and he's seen him pop up on radar. Hunter, are you a storm chaser? Are you a weather guy of some sort, or is it just something that intrigues you because of the harp stuff? I believe that. Well, yeah, you've sent me a bunch of weather related stuff. Interesting. Maybe we'll have Hunter as our weather correspondent. It's gonna be hot, guys. Now to you, Ollie. It's hot. Hunter says weather first, harp second. Okay. Got it. Anyway, so something to watch, something to keep an eye on. The development of the harp story and how they're manipulating the weather, and not only the weather, earthquakes and volcanoes and shit like that too. If they have been, I don't know if that's the best idea. I just don't think that the juice is worth the squeeze. Rachel sent me a link in the Telegram group, and I wanted to touch on it real quick. And I've been seeing quite a bit of it, but it's about the civilization inside the Earth. I can't even say this shit. There's a civilization inside the Earth. Did you know that? Apparently you can only get there from the North or the South Pole. There are vortex openings at the North and the South Pole. One was discovered by this Army dude, Air Force guy, Army, Navy, whatever he was. He was an explorer. Flew down to Antarctica and he was exploring. He wanted to see what's on the other side of Antarctica. And he flew over this hole and he flew in, and there was this wonderful civilization inside the Earth. I mean, maybe they're causing the earthquakes and the volcanoes to erupt instead of the harp stuff. Or maybe they run harp. Maybe they run harp too. Haas says explains all the large sinkhole. You guys dug your ceiling out a little too far. Chris Dixon says you can only get there through the North or the South Pole. Got it. Just like Diddy. Usually the South Pole. Usually the South Pole. Pickle Pete says I'd say they're inside the moon more than likely. Maybe. Rewild their life. Why are you asking the question? You were the one that sent me the story. But Rewilder Life is wondering how this works if the Earth is flat. They're in the sub-Earth. The Earth is flat on the top, but it's got like a little bowl underneath it. And then there's an opening on the edges where you can get down into the underworld. Pip says, I heard that the South Pole has a space radar and acts like an air traffic control for spacecraft. Interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I got a hard time, but like there's been so many different things that I've seen about this hole at the South Pole. Backwoods Butcher says, watch Ice Age, the meltdown. It'll explain everything. That's another company that's got some weird shit going on. It wasn't Ice Age by Pixar? Pixar, Toy Story, right? What are some of the Bugs Life, Wall-E? Were those all Pixar movies? Hmm. I gotta smoke a bowl. Rachel says I gotta smoke a bowl to understand the shit. DreamWorks. Okay, who's DreamWorks? Who's Pixar? Because this was after my time. Like, this shit didn't come around until I was old enough not to give a shit. Um, DreamWorks and Pixar, they're probably owned by the same fucking people, but they all have some of these weird movies that are like, huh, wait a second. Wait a second. Backwoods says Ice Age is DreamWorks. All those other ones are Pixar. K-Bonk says Disney's linked to all of them. DreamWorks did Shrek. Oh, Shrek is definitely a documentary. What? I don't know. DreamWorks, Pixar. I got to write these down to make sure I go down those holes. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Thanks, Kyle. Ice Age and DreamWorks. But I have seen a lot of about those cartoon movies about Wall-E, obviously, Bugs Life. There's a lot of messaging in A Bug's Life, and other ones of those animated movies with all the movie stars in them. And I think K-Bonk nailed it. Disney's linked to them all. Hollywood in general is linked to them all. All of those voice actors are big stars, probably Illuminati or whatever they do. Do they do this or something? Is this the Illuminati thing? Backwoods says, just when you think you're having a good day, here comes Backwoods. So there, I've seen a lot of stuff about Portal at South Pole. I've seen a lot of stuff about where it goes. Some people talk about this weird water that's at the South Pole in this portal, in this pool, like the Fountain of Youth. Some people say that there's an underground city there. Some people say it's a teleportation to another place. Some people, like Pip, say that it's an alien antenna, an air traffic control for aliens. I mean, I think one of this is definitely going to have to go to Antarctica and see it with their eyes. So who volunteers? Backwoods Butcher. Rewilder Life says, know how they run off a cliff. Boneyard, Alaska. Ronan interviews him a lot. He's got mammoth and such bodies in hundreds piled on top of each other. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. I mean, I'm gonna have to look more in Antarctica. Pickle Pete says he's headed that way. Don't forget to roast all my coffee before you head out, because I don't know if I'll see you again. Sure. Good luck on your trip. Let's see what else is on the list. Got a couple more here real quick. You guys want to talk catastrophic flooding, nuclear explosions on Mars, or maybe the slaves didn't actually come here on boats? Oh, Rewilded Life says Rogan. I was like, who is this Rogan guy? Is that when Rogan talks to like what is his name? Hancock? Herbie Hancock? when Ronan talks to Herbie Hancock. Hunter says the slaves didn't come on boats. I thought it was interesting. It was on Rogan. That was a Rogan interview. He had a guy on there. I didn't catch his name. It was just a short clip of the thing. But basically he was saying that the slave trade as we know it. And guys, I'm not trying to be funny here. I'm not trying to be sarcastic. I'm not trying to get yeah, it isn't about anything like that. But basically, the guy was saying that it doesn't make economic sense, the story we've been told. It doesn't make any sense that slaves were loaded on a boat, purchased in Africa, loaded on a boat, and brought here from Africa with the owners that they were going to lose half of their stock. Like, they wouldn't do that, especially since there were already people here. He said more than likely what happened, and like, I don't know, I'm pretty sure that okay, Hunter says he said that since he was young. He says more than likely there were darker, more highly concentrated melatonin people here already that were prisoners of war. Slaves were actually prisoners of war as the settlers conquered the people that were already here. Oh God. Pip says, as we know it, or as they teach it. Well, right. And that's the thing. So it's in, and they make it such a hot button topic. Like, I'm probably going to get violations for being racist for saying that or something. It's just a question of economics. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. Hunter says, see, I'm an equal opportunity. The melanin has nothing to do with it. Well, right. I mean, it's money. It's money. People don't do shit that they know they're going to lose money. And I tried to put it together and say, okay, well, maybe they calculated losses into the prices. But what would the point be? Like, this dude makes, and the dude's black that was telling the story. So, I don't know. Like, would it make sense? I mean, I guess the only way, and I think they really put this up to the forefront, that there was no option locally. There was no option. Oh, I forgot to go live on the other feed. That's fantastic. Whoopsie. Whoopsie. The only way that you would take an economic loss like that Rachel says slaves were from everywhere. One example is the Irish. But were they already here when they came? Were they transported here? Were they transported where they were used as slaves? Or more often than not, were they conquered as a civilization and then turned into slaves throughout history? Or did the discovery of this new world where no one had ever been somehow had civilizations in Africa, or in Mexico for how many thousands of years? But all of a sudden, all the people were just gone and there was nobody here. And when they got here, they were just like, oh, an empty piece of property. Let's go across the ocean, load a boat up full of people, sail them here, lose half the people, and then use them to do our labor. Backwood says, we might be too white to talk about this. I don't really think it has to do with black and white. I think it has to do with green. Pickle P says the boats had manifests and receipts. So they were just dumb businessmen? And I mean, I'm not saying that slavery didn't happen, and I'm not saying slavery wasn't a bad thing. I'm just wondering the source of the slaves. Pip says, I'm not racist. I hate everyone equally. I kind of fall into that boat myself, but I don't know. It was horrible. Like, and it's amazing. It's a social, amazing sociological experiment that many people could be held captive by such a few. Um, yeah, Rachel says, answers we will never know. Hunter says, does it make slavery worse that it's also a bad financial decision? Hmm. Backwood says, well, the Spanish hit Central America hundreds of years before we settled the New World, spreading disease and killing 90% of the population. Or so they told you. Hmm. I don't know. I all I'm doing is bringing you the stories from TikTok and asking questions. No necessarily not necessarily what I come down to as a conclusion, just asking questions and pondering thoughts. So I don't know. Was the slavery real? Absolutely. I'm not saying that. Did the source of the slaves change? um yeah, I don't know. Pickle P says MS-13 figured out how to make the slaves pay them for travel. Yep. Coyotes. Let's move on from that. We got let's see on the list here. Speaking of Africa, this was interesting. Another phenomenon, natural phenomenon that really can't be explained. Lots of that over in that area of the world. This was from Northwest Africa. Dude was talking about dude was talking about these ripples in the Sahara Desert. So what they are is they've equated them. They've kind of figured out what they were other places in the world. And what they are is the remnants of extreme flooding. So flooding will come in and it leaves these ripples in malleable earth, so sand or things like that. It will leave these ripples, and you can see them from satellite, you can see them from space, you can see them from the sky. Well, he said that he has figured out that in this region of the Sahara in northwest Africa, kind of by the ocean, kind of, and that's the thing. He has found remnants of these ripples in the Sahara. And he said it's super, super scary. Super scary because when they analyze the ripples in the Sahara, which is normally caused by extreme flooding, they measure them out to have the ripples and the peak to peak, is that the frequency? The peak to peak of the ripples, 3,000 to 6,600 feet between the ripples. And they're also up to 200 feet high. So basically in the desert, it looks like sand dunes when you're there. But when you look at it from above, it's the remnants of some pretty crazy flooding. He said to extrapolate how bad this flooding is, no one on earth can comprehend the size of a flood, the size of the event that happened to cause these ripples. that far inland, that size, that deep, that frequency. And he says nobody wants to talk about it. Nobody wants to talk about it. Now, could these things be different? Something different? Maybe they're wind. Maybe I don't know. I don't know what they come from, but I there it is. Canadian Farm says it was just the Great Flood. Better start building an ark. I don't know if he necessarily said it was coming back, but I think it was that Herbie Hancock guy again that was on Rogan. And Pickle Pete says vibration rings could be that. But yeah, a flood of that magnitude would be really interesting. Haas says climate change will take care of that. Pickle Pete's talking vibration rings and harmonics. I mean, I have gone down the vibration, the earth vibration stuff, and yeah, I mean it's there. Like you can use a tuning fork to see that. It's not hard to put together that there's vibrations in the earth. Are they resonant enough to cause this? Or, like Haas says, was it a huge rocket that landed in the Atlantic Ocean and it caused a huge tidal wave and flooding into Africa to make these ripples? I don't know. Lots of energy, low frequency. Yeah. I mean, it's probably something to do with harp and the harp rings. Backwood says he's not high enough for this today. Sorry, dude. Sorry. And all right. There's one thing left on the list. Let's clear them off. I know it's 2 after. I'll make it quick. We'll get through it. But Mars theory, guys. Mars theory. There's a theory that I saw a video on that we may have come from Mars. We may have come from Mars. So how it works is I believe they've discovered xenon, the periodical element xenon, Xe. Xe is the symbol. It's spelled Xenon. It's kind of like neon, but it's xenon. They found that on Mars. Good morning, John Palmer. How we doing? So xenon is confirmed on Mars. Xenon is on Earth also, obviously by the periodical elements. Xenon has an interesting place on Earth. Xenon apparently is only present after a nuclear explosion. Xenon is produced as an after effect of nuclear explosion. So what's being theorized, I guess. Jesus Christ, I can barely get through it. What is being theorized is there was a civilization on Mars and it kind of spiraled out of control, kind of similar to what we're feeling today on Earth. And at some point there was a tipping point and there was a huge nuclear event on Mars with only a few people escaping on a ship, came to Earth and have colonized Earth. And that's how we all started here. Wildlife Life says, so we need more nuclear energy. I mean, so they blew up their own country. They blew up their own. They fucked up their own. Take their eyes as ancient aliens confirmed. I mean, Pickle Pete says that's more than likely. It's more likely than the Sky Daddy seed. I did almost put that they found the Garden of Eden on the list. That was an interesting video. It didn't go too far. It didn't go deep enough for me, but yeah, I don't know. Is the Sky Daddy seed anything similar to the Sky Diddy seed? But anyway, guys, I don't know. Maybe we came from Mars when they decided to blow up their own planet with nuclear holocaust, and that's why it's the way it is there, leaving all the xenon behind from all the nuclear blasts, and and here we are. Who knows? Backwoods says this has been a wild ride today. Rewilder Life says that crazy scientist with the crazy hair is actually 1 billion years old. Is that the guy who's like the aliens guy on the History Channel? Um, Take the Ride says damn cyber ninja space aliens sent from the future by Vladimir Putin. Putin's a time traveler? Oh no. Oh no. Anyway, guys, we got to wrap it up. Pickle Pete is waiting in the wings over on the Food Forest Farms YouTube channel for his no salad Friday mornings. He's waiting in the wings over on the Food Forest Farms YouTube channel. He's got new music today. He's got Good Morning Seattle. He rolls after this. Guys, it's Friday. I don't even know if I could do this. I gotta find some less weird stories. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Anyway, guys, I appreciate everyone listening. If you enjoyed the show, it's always free to hit that like, share, and subscribe to return value for value. Please consider joining one of the YouTube membership tiers and listening on any value for value platform like Podverse or Fountain.fm. Visit thelotsproject.com and comfreyroots.com for all more information about me and all the products we sell, blah, blah, blah. I appreciate everybody watching. I hope you guys have an awesome weekend. I hope I gave you some stuff to chew on, to think about. I hope you get a bunch of shit done. And if you need to relax, if you work too hard, you need a break, definitely sit down, take a break, eat some salad, enjoy the ride, and we will catch up with you guys on Monday.